Hey guys, hello, good evening and welcome to another live stream here on planet Earth, if you call it what you will. And yes, we're back, and yes, it's Friday, and boy, what a week, what an interesting week. And yes, big changes, lots of thinking, lots of digging deep, and lots of positive stuff coming out. We're going to delve into that a little bit soon. Wow, 200 odd people already, awesome. Thank you everyone for turning up. That's weird, we had 222, 191. Bonkers. Now, before we get doing anything, I need a comms check. So, audio and visual, is it any good? Can you hear me? I've been having some issues on some apps recently, trying to stay in comms with people, and I can't hear you, so I'm a bit paranoid about that, so I want to make sure, excuse me, that we're all going good. So we're going to wait for the lag, yada yada yada. All good, awesome. So the first person is Earthheart. Thank you for the comms check, awesome. Thank you ever so much, all of you, for confirming that. And yeah, all good in the hood. So I was just looking through the chat just now, and I can't remember the guy, he's long gone now because the chat's crazy. We got 340. Welcome everyone. He said he had to subscribe 4 or 5 times because he had been unsubscribed. So I would ask you, please, can you just quickly check to see if you are still subscribed? Whilst you're there, check if the notification bell is set to all notifications, okay? Because that's important, especially moving forward with a refreshingly new change of direction, which we're going to go into in a sec. All right, so if you could check all of that, that'd be awesome. And look at that, check them out. Nice one, Tim. Look at that, bash the like button. Yes, the like button, apparently it does make a difference. And what I tend to do when I join other people's live streams and stuff, if I like the person, I'll click the like button before I've even watched it. So you just get it done, it's out the way. But listen, it really helps. Even if you guys are watching on the replay, okay, hit the like button, it really helps. And spread the word. There's the link on the top, share it with others, that also helps too. So yeah, nice one, buddy, that's cool. So what else can we get on with as well? If I can find it. Excuse me. Yes, there is a mailing list, and I know there's been a bit of a shortfall with getting newsletters out. There's been lots of stuff going on behind the scenes, but we are endeavouring to get that fixed. It's just a time restraint because me and my team have been involved in so many other things. It's literally just not happened. All right. So, but rest assured, once you are signed up to that newsletter, you will be kept in the loop, because like I said in previous videos, I don't know how long I'm going to be on YouTube for a multitude of reasons, okay, but that's all going to change hopefully. But yeah, it all sounds a bit cryptic at the moment, but don't worry, please make sure if you're new, we have had quite a few new subscribers in the last 7 days, so welcome everybody. If you can just click onto the link below the video, sign up to the mailing list, it's done. All you need to do is put an email address in, that's it, okay, it's all done, above board, GDPR, etc. So that would be really cool. Also for you new guys as well, real quickly, this is my main job. I don't get no benefits or nothing like that, and this channel really does survive pretty much with donations. Even if you're watching on the replay, it seriously helps. And I spoke to a friend of mine recently about certain things which have been happening this week, and the message from him to give to you guys is, if you can help, now is the time. It really is. I can't really go into details, but now is the time if you can, but you don't have to, okay, but it really seriously helps with what's been going on behind the scenes. So that's all good in the hood. What else do we need to know? Yes, like we do, just briefly before we start getting a few people, well, 600 people, welcome everybody. what we need to do is we need to find out where you guys are from. So I'm jumping straight into the chat now. Apologies if I've not seen any of the chat. I read about a minute of it before we come on earlier. Hence the guy saying that he had to resubscribe a few times because he had been unsubscribed, which is bonkers. So who have we got? We got Lucy. Lucy was first off the bat. Nice one, sweetie, from Birmingham. It's great up there in Birmingham. It's just lovely Birmingham. It's great. Sorry, I can't help myself. I always do that. Paris, Mary, hi. Also, before I forget, speaking of donations, there is one person who has seriously been helping this channel behind the scenes. Her name is Margaret, and the donation which I got from you, Margaret, was insane. And I'll tell you what, I can't begin to tell you how much that has massively helped. So a massive thanks to you, sweetheart, for doing that. I can't thank you enough. So yes, awesome. Who have we got here? We got Peter from South Africa. I know. Who else have we got? Maybe I should try doing accents from different parts of the country. That'd be a laugh. What else have we got in here? Oh, look at this. Nice one. Some wow, Catterick. Awesome. That's a lovely part of the world, especially when it rains. I know. Look at this. Someone down in Cornwall, represented over there. Absolutely 100%. Land's End. Literally can't get any further west than that. Brilliant. Check it out. 739 people. Well, we're getting close to 1,000 and we can crack on. This is awesome. Hereford. Speaking of Hereford, I'm glad you reminded me, sir. Or lady. All the way from Herefordshire. Henny's Classic. A nice bit of cider it is. I would say, I wouldn't want to say it's an everyday cider, but it's not as strong as my usual ones, but it's still very nice. And probably because it's one of the cheapest that you can get out there, especially in Wales. If some of you guys have been following me on Instagram, there's social media links all on my YouTube channel on the top right of the screen. Yeah, I've been doing posts about the prices of things. Man, is it changing? We're preppers after all, right? And we need to keep an eye on stuff like this. Who we got here? Shire from Yorkshire. Oh, you guys are probably... Hey man, I'm from New York, right? Hey Mike, how's it going from New York? Oh, well butchered that. You guys are laughing, I know. Alright, my son, I'm from London. How's it going? You alright? That's cool. Yeah, from Belfast. Man, I'm going to get a kick in the nuts. I know I am. Someone from Spain. Hola, Tom. Oh, look. He's lovely. South Wales. Oh, look at these comments. They're coming in like mental. Paul. Hey, calm down, mate. Calm down. It's great. From Liverpool. Liverpool. I didn't mean to say Liverpool. That's off that Samuel L. Jackson film, isn't it? Who have we got? Blimey, look at this from Zimbabwe. I can't do that accent. Is it pretty much like South Africa? Look at Zimbabwe. I'm having a laugh. I know. The coffee still. Who we got? We got Sophie from Australia. G'day. Oh, look at that. Aberdeen. Up in Scotland. Hey, so good. Brilliant. So we looks like we have got a lot of people from all over the world, which is look at this, from Vancouver Island. Damn, this is insane. We got literally got people all over the place. This is brilliant. It's really it blows my mind still with this technology. I'm sat here on a mountain. No one ever said I'll get internet. I've got a laptop. And yet I'm chatting live with people from all over the world. Apparently, I fall under the category of Generation X. And yeah, any Gen Xers, if you want to be hip with the kids, yes. That's it. It blows my mind being that old. You know, for you youngsters, millennials forward, you know, it's like, yeah, whatever. But mate, we were young in a time where we didn't have this. And it blows my mind. So it's awesome. Ah, look at this. Meg, Buddy Bach. Yeah, love that stuff. My mate Moleskin Joe introduced me to that a long time ago. And if you're watching, John, you're probably with your fire pit with a couple of bottles of Buddy. Yeah, enjoy, brother, enjoy. Yep. What's this? A baby boomer, JM. Oh no. Check it out, here we go. Look, Gen X shout out in the house. Ah, Ben, how's it going, fella? 1996, what does that make me? Well, just real quick, I'll have a look for you, mate, because you are our top geezer. You've donated to the channel loads, absolutely. So, Gen 8 and generation names, not generation games. So you is 1990. You're a Generation Z. That's what you are, or Generation Z if you're from United States of Kiss My Ass. And we got a good friend in the house, Sandy. It's just Paul. Buddy Bach. Hello there, boy. It's lovely stuff, Sandy. It really is. It's beautiful. Do you remember that time where we went out with Lee, LB Customs, when he was still alive? You, me, Moleskin Joe, when he bought that bottle of whiskey. He brought loads of bottles of Buddy back. That was the first time I ever tried it. So thanks to Foreskin Joe, oh, I'm sorry, Moleskin Joe, for introducing me to that awesome drink. That's wicked. So look at that, 916 people. Okay, so we are going to yes, he remembers it well. I do, Sandy. It is awesome. We should get out again, brother, especially now the weather's turning more fairer. I think you said on your video that it was the coldest, wettest spring that you've ever known. Now that is, I've said that to a few people because I know that you're a true country outdoorsman, and to hear that from someone so well rounded as yourself, that does mean something in my eyes. So yes, it has been a mental spring and very tough for you guys growing crops, because it's a nightmare right now. Right, okay, so what's this? What's this? Can you get the light in the background out of shot, please? People are saying it's too bright. What, that light up there? Yeah. There you go. How am I going to get around this? I don't know if I can. Crazy. You're going to have to miss the top of my head. But yeah, that's how it is. I know. I might have to get one of those uplighters for that. I noticed when I was setting up, it really does seem bright. So anyway, without getting sidetracked, we've waffled on for far too long. What is next on the agenda for tonight's show? What I like to do is try to keep this a regular theme, and looking at our wonderful friends in the security service, the MI5. So anything that's going on in the UK, these are the guys who are in the know. So we're looking at the current threat for the UK, England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. I don't know why it says and Northern Ireland, but the threat is substantial, which is right in the middle, from not too bad to really serious. Okay, so we are literally in the middle still. If you are in Northern Ireland, they have actually bumped it one up as a severe threat level. If I come down here, there we are. So Northern Ireland are currently here in the severe section. We are right slap bang in the middle. If it's critical, which I hope to God we never get to see, but I highly suspect we will in the near distant future, with world events, etc., it means an attack is highly likely in the near future. So at the moment we are straight bang in the middle, substantial. So that is where we are with the threat levels here in the UK, and we need to go on to commodities, because that does play a quite important part of preparedness. So we're going to have a quick look. I was looking at this earlier. It's quite crazy what's been happening. Let me just go down to, now look at this, silver is making moves. Now I've been studying this for the last 7 days, and that jumped right up to 26 and it's popped back down again. Okay, gold, it's still over 2k, as we can see there. If we can have a quick look at gold, because I know some of you guys are holding gold, and it's always good to see a live data capture point. Look at that, gold has just gone nuts. Yep, go away adverts. Let's look at 6 months. So there we go, 6 months. Wow. Yes. So gold is doing very well. It doesn't take a genius to work that one out. And silver, you're going to watch it drop now because, like I said, what I was studying during the week. Let's put it on 1 month. There you go. You see, look, it was right up there. That was 26.09. The market's closed on gold at that point in time. And look, it's right down there now. So we're looking, yeah, 24.19 or thereabouts. So yeah, silver's always going to be up and down. But if you're like me, you're holding it for long-term investment rather than doing shorts. If you want to do shorts of silver, wow, you seriously got to be on the game, because that price can jump $5 an ounce in literally 10 seconds. It's nuts. Okay, so we're going down. Now this is interesting. Look at the price of Brent now. Now we actually see that over $100 a barrel not that long ago now. So let's check for 6 months, because that's always a good indicator. You can get lost. Wow, how up and down is that? You see what I'm saying? Look, in 6 months it was just under 100. If we go a year to date, that's nuts. Look at the price changes. It's bonkers. And pretty much the same with the WTI on oil too. So this is interesting. John, if you're watching, I always check for my mate here, aluminium, because he has dealings with that. You know who you are. So we go into 6 months, and look, it's fallen big time. Look at that. So we're looking at a high of Ali, and that closed at 2,653. Currently, wow, 2,200. So that is really bumped downwards, which is not good for any of the guys that are dealing with that metal at the moment. All the others, that's changed. Look at the price of copper, unbelievable. And nickel, well, nickel's insane. I'm not even going to go there, because we all know what happened in 2020, but it nearly burst the market. So yeah, that's just still recovering, I believe. What else have we got here? Rice is interesting, because we've looked into that for a while now, and there has been all sorts of changes with rice. As you can tell, it is literally just all over the place. There is nothing stable about that, and pretty much all of the markets are doing that, to be fair. It really is nuts. So that's a real brief basic look. Oh, look at that, I've got a donation, you guys. Where is it? AK prepping. I come across that before on YouTube. Prepper meat going to be good. Yeah, it seriously is. I'm glad you mentioned, and look at that, we got 1,123 people right now. If you can hit that thumbs up, I seriously appreciate it. Do it once, it's done. Awesome. Yes, the prepper meat. If you are new to prepping and you've never been to the prep meet before, there is loads of new links below this video. So if you can go underneath the video where it says more, a tiny little word with more, you click on that and all of the links are there. So if you haven't checked the links today, check them, because I've updated them all. There's loads of new stuff on there. There's discounts and things. And the prepper meet, the video to watch is on there. And also, if you want to book, there's a booking link as well. But you'd probably be best to watch the video first, because there's a certain few things that you need to do. So yeah, AK prepping. I'll see you there, brother. I don't know who you look like, so come up and introduce yourself. You know who I look like, so that's all good. So yes, what else have we got going on? Oh yeah, it's going to be weird trying to crouch down with that bloody light now, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to miss the top of my head. We are where we are. So where do we begin? Now, what are we going to say? I would put to you guys out there that in the last 6 months, 8 months, something like that, you know, we have been heavily focused on information. Okay, information on the news, things in the pipeline, things set to change, all the rest of it. Now, as you can appreciate, all of these things which are changing are all part of one big, huge, massive machine. like we've talked about in previous videos. Now, I've come to the conclusion that I feel that most of us, especially you guys watching now, are fully aware of what is going on and roughly what sort of time frames that these things are set to come into play. So it doesn't really matter. I don't believe there's not much you can actually do about it. Okay, when we actually step back and analyze it, what can we actually do to stop all of this? Now, we've been through this in previous videos. Now, I've come to the conclusion that, you know, time is the most precious commodity of them all. Okay, time is more precious than gold, diamonds, everything else, even toilet rolls. Right, so time is seriously important. So how much more time do we want to spend investigating, researching, reading all of these sources of news, whether it's mainstream or whether it's alternative news sources? The basic fact remains is no one can really prove which is true or which is false. Okay, now there is so much technology out there, there is so many agendas, there are so many hidden things which are going on, there's so much propaganda. And let me tell you this, because I've been exposed to so many emails from different people, I don't know who they are, I don't know their background. It's pretty impossible to prove what they're saying. So with that all being said, is it a good idea to spend all of that time and energy into looking at the stuff which we can't really change? So I've pretty much now come to the conclusion and gone full circle of how this channel started. Now is the time to start prepping. It really is, because like I just said, most of us have pretty much got a good idea of what's going on, how it's going on, who's involved, blah blah blah. And like I said, we can't really change much about that. Okay, we can write to MPs, people can go to protest if they want to, but at the end of the day, did it make a difference? Look at what happened with the Iraq war. 1 million people protested. Guess what? Did it stop the war? So what I'm saying is think about it, take a step back and realise that there's nothing much we can do about all of the stuff that's in the pipe which is coming down the line. But we all know what's going on and roughly when it's going to hit. So all we should be doing, in my opinion, which I'm going to be doing, I'm not telling anyone what to do, but in my opinion, it's probably a good idea to really spend our valuable time in prepping, which is what we should be doing. Because, you know, you could easily sit on your phone, you know, from 6 o'clock in the evening, you know, when you've come home from work, you've had your tea, the kids are in bed or whatever it is, you can sit on your phone until 11 o'clock at night trying to figure out whether this news is factual, whether it's BS, what, you know, you've spent all of that time not looking into important things about prepping. So that is where I want to be going, because like I said, the last 6-8 months or so, you know, I haven't spent much time actually prepping. And after all, I'm a prepper, this is a prepping community, and this is a prepping channel. So we're going full tilt and we're going back into the world of prepping where we belong. Okay, so that is where I want to take this, because I do believe it's important. So when you look at when me and Jason Brashears of Archaics, who many of you now know the guy, an absolute legend. I really do hold him in high esteem. Okay, he is an amazing guy, such a memory, such a talent, and he works tirelessly. Okay, when we done a live stream together, he mentioned a few times about a post societal, or I think he called it a post infrastructure collapse. So, oh God, I'm sorry, but I can't ignore a great big yellow flash. It's gone. Where's it gone? Wow, someone's just donated some money. Oh, there it is. It's not come up in yellow. It's come up in a weird. Here we go, Edward. Now, Edward, you've absolutely nailed it, mate. Live stream finished. Be prepared like a Boy Scout. I mean, be prepared. Like I said, there's so many things changing, and if you're not spending your valuable time preparing for all this stuff, what's going to happen is stuff is going to hit the fan, and you're not going to be prepared as you could be, because you have spent so much of your valuable time looking into what's real and what's fake, whatever. So yeah, absolutely, dude, you've hit the nail on the head. What I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to turn that on so I don't miss anything. Oh, bloody hell, really? Already? Bear with me, guys. Lucy on PayPal, and who else? Oh my god, really? Darren, I'm not going to say your full name, I nearly did. Dude, that isn't... It's left a message as well. To help you through this insane world, I hope this helps you and your family. Darren, that's beautiful. So really appreciate that. Amazing. Like I said, my friend who I spoke to in depth about certain things that have happened this week, now is the time if you can. I can't really go into it, but it is what it is. So yes, we're talking about a post society collapse. So we're talking now the worst possible. We are talking genuine SHTF. Okay, we are talking that. All right, not the grid goes down for 2 days and then back up again. No, we're talking everything goes. For example, just imagine what would happen to this country. Maybe if it would be a global thing, no one really knows. Okay, so let's just keep it local. Let's just keep it UK. Ponder, if you will, what would happen to the UK if there was no mains electricity for 2 weeks. Can you imagine how bad that would be? Can you imagine how many things would change in that 2 week period? I mean, really think about it. I mean, I've said this to guys when I've done prepper and survival courses. I urge every one of those candidates or pupils on that course that I do, you need to watch that documentary on YouTube. It's by a company called Channel 4, Channel 4 TV. It's called Blackout. Blackout, one word. If you go into YouTube and you type in Blackout drama, or Blackout 2013, or Blackout Channel 4, CH4. Blackout CH4, that's it, sorry. That will get you to it. It's about an hour long, but I'll tell you what, it's really, really well worth a watch. Okay, and I think that goes over, I think it was a week or maybe 2 weeks, I can't remember. I think it might have been a week of the UK without power. Oh my god, it's giving me goosebumps just remembering that documentary. It's insane, and that is just electricity. Now can you imagine it? No cash points, so guess what? No cash. All the shops will be shut because it's all electric, isn't it? All of the tills, all of the lighting, automatic doors, barriers, none of that works. You can't get into the shops. Okay, traffic lights, they won't work. There will be traffic accidents everywhere. All of the street lights would be off. Driving will be a nightmare. Even walking around in the streets in a town or a city will be extremely dangerous, because when it goes dark, the criminals come out to play. And if you've got no fitness levels, you've got no self-defense skills, and you've got no situational awareness, your time is limited in that situation. And all of the other things, water is pumped, and water is pumped to electricity. So when you start thinking about it, oh my god, and obviously you've got no electricity in your house unless you've got power banks, solar generators, solar panels, that sort of thing. That's cool, but we're going to go into that in a bit. So all of a sudden you start putting all these things together, right? And that's a scary thing. That is a really scary thing, because guess what? No one is coming to help. No one is coming to help. Unfortunately, there is not enough police, there is not enough armed forces, there is not enough people to look after you during that time of a power outage for a week or two. There isn't. So you are literally stuck. And if you are not prepared, in some manner of speaking, you got 3 or 4 days worth of food, or whatever it is, or you got a week's worth. That runs out. You got to go to the shops. Guess what? No shops. What are you going to do? Well, let me tell you this: when people are hungry, right, they get desperate. When they get desperate, they do desperate things. And these are people who have probably never committed any violent crime in their life ever. But when you're that hungry and your family are hungry, trust me, people will change. It doesn't take a genius to work that out. People will do anything. And if that means your next door neighbour knocking on your door, look, we go back years, the sob story, we've got no food, you know, my kid, she's 4 and she hasn't eaten in 2 days. Have you got anything? and that is entirely up to the individual to make that decision. I am not here to tell you what to do. You need to figure that out for yourself, because every prepper, in my opinion, should have his or her own unique set of preps based on their situation, and their situation dovetails into their skill set, their financial situation, their physical capabilities, all of that. Well, I've just seen this. Oh, and really, this is what does my nutting, because nothing's come through. But what I need to do is go to the dog. Go to the dog and bone, because that is the only way. I'm really sorry, guys, for being interrupted, but like I said, there's no way I'm going to let these go. Right, so come on. No, really? Darren, Anne, yeah, you guys, Gary, and Sharon as well. Yeah, I'm going to choose this because that notification's pants on there. Well, like you wouldn't believe, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate that, seriously do, and I wish I can say why, but trust me, it's been a nightmare. So yes, things to prep for. So when you look at really good documentaries like that, it's seriously good, because what they do is they have, I don't want to use the term experts or from the mainstream, but they call it that. Okay, so they've got experts in having the statistics, the figures. They have affiliate with how systems work. So we're talking of critical infrastructure. So you're talking of your electric grid, your gas grid, your water grid, so all of your utilities, and hospitals too. They all have backup generators. But guess what? How long will those generators work for? So yeah, it really does. Oh, bloody hell. Malavida, I recognise that name. Hi, I haven't seen you for a while. Don't waste your energy getting scared. Use your energy getting prepared. Oh my god, I love it when people do these cool rhymes. Yeah, you should write rap music. Seriously, that'd wicked in it. Look at it as an insurance policy. Absolutely. Do you know what? That's a very valid point. Seriously, because you know you could have X amount of food in your house, and if nothing ever happens, well, guess what? You can still eat the food. It makes perfect sense, and also you're going to be saving a fortune, because what you buy today is always going to be cheaper than what you buy tomorrow, especially at the rate of inflation. We all know what's going on there, and we all know how insane it is, because we are seeing it with our own eyes. Okay, so yes, prepping for a post-collapse. History repeats. This has happened before to many civilizations. Right, even in the UK, over periods of time, society collapses, governments, whatever, it's usually to do with taxes or pushing things too far. The people rise up, it all goes wrong, something happens, and it steps back and it starts all over again. So these are cycles. Okay, it always happens, and you know, looking how things are and how they've been for a while, you know, it does really feel, not just look, but it actually feels like, yeah, we are on the brink of something pretty crazy. And we spoke about this in previous videos, but like I said, now is the time to be prepping. All right, you don't, you know, like the guy said back then, you don't want to be wasting your precious time into looking at this stuff. We know what's going on. Start preparing. Okay, like I said, you've only got to look back at history and see what happens. And yeah, the better prepared you are, the better your chances. And don't forget the very important thing: no one is coming. No one is coming to help you. All right, that's how it is. Also, we're talking post, so obviously after a collapse. Okay, people always say to me, "What about gold? What about silver?" And my take on it is, it's important to have silver for sure. Gold, it's a lot of money. Okay, so not everyone has got gold. I haven't got any gold. I did have some gold a few years back now, and I sold it because we desperately needed the money, and I really wish I kept it, because The price I paid was about £700 an ounce or something. Now it's like nearly $2,000 an ounce. But you know, you got to do what you got to do at the time, and at that time we were seriously skint. And you know, I had all this jewelry sitting around. You know, I didn't really use it, so well, you know, cashed it in, and it is what it is. Bless you, Susan. There's 2 black flags on there. I don't know what they represent, but yeah, hi, thank you for that. That's a beautiful thing. So yeah, gold and silver, like Jason was saying on the live stream we done, Jason Bashir's, because we talked a little bit about post infrastructure collapse, his words, and he seems to think that cash would be useless, even silver and gold would be useless. Now my take on what he said was silver and gold absolutely have a fundamental part to play going up to a collapse. After a collapse, do you know what? I don't really think gold and silver are going to be that high up on our agenda. That's my own personal take. When it comes down to it, more people are going to be interested in trading barterable items, and that includes food. Okay, someone famously said a comment on one of my videos years ago now, said you can't eat silver. And you know, when you think about it, it's absolutely true. I would say absolutely carry on stacking, which is the term everyone uses, stacking gold and silver. Okay, when it looks like there is a date sort of set, or how it's moving, that the collapse is going to happen, that will be the time to cash in all of your silver and gold, get the money, and then literally fill in all of the gaps of the preps which you feel you need. Like I said, every one of us are different. Okay, everyone has got different physical conditions, mental conditions, skill sets, whether you're urban, whether you're rural, whether you live on a boat, whatever it is, every single person is unique in their own prepping mindset, everyone. Okay, but what it all boils down to, I believe, it's sound common sense and thinking ahead and planning to pretty much ensure that your standard of living remains as constant as possible, where all around you people are losing their minds, they haven't prepped, and you have to ask yourself this: would you want to be in the same position as those guys who haven't got any food, who haven't got any batteries, who haven't got any torches? They can't keep their house warm because the gas or electric's been cut off. All of these things. Okay, so speaking of things like batteries, now batteries will eventually stop. So we're talking post collapse. Okay, so you're pretty much going to be going back into, you know, the 18th or 19th century before electricity. Okay, now yes, I know some of you guys are going to say, yeah, but you know, they had electricity back in Egyptian times and all of that. Yeah, I'll get it, that's fine, but I'm talking about modern history of when it was first widely used. So we're talking around the 1800s. Okay, so we're going to be going back to a time before then. But it's going to take some time getting to that level, and I want to show you why that is. Okay, so let me have a look. Let's scroll right up here. Now look at this, battery life. Okay, so yeah, batteries are good, we should all have batteries, but typically modern alkaline batteries and other primary batteries such as 3.6, 3.7 volt lithium batteries, which are obviously much better, can be stored for up to 10 years, right? But you will get a moderate capacity loss, i.e. they won't be working at full power, but they'll be marginally less. Okay, as with all batteries, they should be kept away from extreme temperatures and should never be frozen. Okay, so let that sink in. So okay, it all goes down in 2030, just hypothetically speaking. All right, I'm going to put it back on the chat so I don't miss anything. So yeah, 2030, just say, okay, just for argument's sake and to make it easy to explain, it all kicks off sometime in 2030, right? So depending on when the last time you bought your batteries leading up to that point in time, you've got 10 years and then they're not going to be working as well. Okay, so think of all of the things which require power. Batteries. Okay, batteries are very, very important. So not only that, once you've got batteries, say rechargeable ones, how do you charge them up again? So obviously we're going to go over to solar. Okay, now there's been a lot of BS that has been talked about for ages, that solar panels, they only last for 10 years. I mean, I might have even said it myself without looking into it, but after looking into it, check this out. The industry standard for most solar panels lifespans is 25 to 30 years. Most reputable manufacturers offer production warranties for 25 years or more. Okay, so it depends on how good and the quality the company is and how good the quality of the product which they are selling. The average financial break-even point for solar panel energy saving occurs between 6 and 10 years after they've been installed. So you're looking at the energy prices and what you get for your buck, and bearing in mind that energy price is going up all of the time. Okay, if the panels continue to produce at a high level for another 15 years after that, you will end up saving thousands of pounds during the solar panel's lifespan. National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, November Romeo Echo Lima, the average degradation rate is, look at that, 0.5%. 0.5%, which is negligible really, to be honest, across all solar panels. That means you could still expect to get solar output to be around 89% of its original output after 25 years. Okay, so you know, I don't want to disagree with Jason, but you know, he said solar panels, you know, forget it, they won't last. But when you consider, if you was fortunate enough to buy a very high quality series of solar panels and indeed lithium batteries, literally right up before a collapse, you have got the best, longest use of still having some sort of power. Don't forget, you know, what would you need electricity for? Now think about it. Laptops, computers with all that information in there, hard drives, charging up your phone. Yes, I know the phone's not going to have any network, it probably won't have internet, but look how much information, survival manuals, photographs, videos, contact details can you get on that small phone. Don't forget, our little phones, they're little computers, and you can hold a lot of information in a very small space. So mobile phones, smartphones are very useful. Okay, yeah, we can debate all night, you know, whether, you know, it's a good idea, tracking and all of that, but if you think about it, no internet and no network, how are you going to get tracked? That's another subject for another day, but you see where I'm going with this. Okay, so all of these things really do need to be considered when you're talking way ahead. So yeah, batteries will eventually stop. Okay, that's absolutely understood, but how long? Andrew, thank you for that donation on PayPal. Your star, really appreciate it, dude. And yes, that's a regular donator, that really helps. Love you, Andrew. That's cool, dude, appreciate it. Generating power as well. So batteries are cool, but what I use, this is no endorsement, but this is my little power bank. Okay, and that's this little funky little sleeve. I think me and Faye, we both got the same one. It's made by a company called Anchor, and these are absolutely awesome. I'd love to get these on board regarding sponsorship for the channel, because I've been buying these for years and I've never ever had any problems. And these new type ones, they've got a fast charge integrated system within it. And I'll tell you what, if you've got a Samsung S20, the same phone as what I've got, it's dead flat, it's completely gone. You plug this in, guess what? 35 to 40 minutes fully charged. I've not had any power bank to do something like that fast. It's nuts. Speaking of which, I better just check, because like I say, I hate no, bloody hell, really, I hate it when I miss stuff coming through, because like I say, people are so kind and generous enough to help, and the least I can do is acknowledge. Oh my god, Alan and Andrew, and I think I said Darren, Anne, and another Darren, and Lucy, and Sharon, and Gary. Thank you, you guys. Oh, bloody hell. That's amazing. Like I said, you know, if you can, you don't have to, and I'm not going to be banging on about it, but now is the time, because there is a lot going on, hence the new direction of where we're going. All right, so yes, generating power. Now, solar power banks, I don't know if you can see, but where the basket is, right there, right next to it in that corner, that little black shape there, that is a solar power generator. And if you look at all of the lights at the top of the screen, they're fairy lights or Christmas LED lights. Okay, I chose the warm lighting, not the bright white or cool light or whatever it is, because it makes a big difference. Okay, if you want to sit in a room with ultra white bright LEDs, good luck with your eyesight. Warm lighting is much better for our eyes. And yes, I know LEDs are bad, but look at the choices, look at the options. You get bog standard light bulbs, look how much power that they consume, and look how much power these consume. All of them lights there, they plug in to that solar generator there, that solar charger, and I literally put the solar panel outside, it charges it up. Sometimes if the weather's nice in Wales, it will charge up within a day, and it just gives me about 2, 3, about 4 days, 4 nights worth of lighting for free. Okay, yes, you have to spend the money on the outlay, but like I say, they guarantee these batteries for a minimum of 10 years, and this was got right at the end of last year, so way in to 2030, which, you know, all this stuff could happen. So yes, they are absolutely awesome. I have tried 1, 2, 3, 4 different companies of solar generators and chargers, and I've decided to stick to one based on my tests, based on the durability, based on the quality, and based on the warranty and the support. The customer support is fantastic. The company is EcoFlow, and if you need to look into that, there is links below this video. They're the ones which I'm sticking with, because like I said, the ones that I've tried, they've ticked all of the boxes. They are friggin' fantastic, and they're a lot cheaper than some of the high-end ones, which makes it a lot more affordable. So if you can get solar generator chargers which will hold all of that power, so you can still keep a games console for your kids if they're climbing the wall when things have gone bad, they can still have, like I said earlier, try to maintain your current standard of living in a crisis. To me, that's ultimately what prepping is all about. Okay, when you look around and people who haven't prepped, look how much they're affected. They've got no power banks, they've got no food, they can't keep warm, they've got no barterable items, they're screwed, because like I said, no one is coming to help. So like I said, if you are interested in them solar chargers, there is a link below that video. I think it's EcoFlow, and you click on that, and yeah, every now and again you do discounts, so it's worth checking regularly, because if you have the money and you do want to invest in something like that, if you time it right, you could save yourself quite a lump of money as well. So everything's going up, so if you get something at a discount, especially a valuable item like that, it's definitely worth looking into. Another thing I was thinking about is hydro. Not many people talk about hydro power. So where we are up in the mountains, obviously everything is on a slope, and yes, we've got springs, we've got rivers and streams all over the place, and literally right on the edge of our property there is a stream. At the flow rate of where that water comes down, I'll be mad not to look into the possibilities of getting some sort of hydro power thing which can stick in that water source, and cables can come out and charge up my batteries to give me power, because like I said, this cottage is mains power run, and one day when it all goes wrong, there won't be no power. So luckily, because I've invested ahead of the game, I've got the solar panels, I've got the battery banks, etc., adding extra things onto it like hydro and possibly wind as well. Okay, if you can get those devices to keep your batteries charged up, you'll be doing good. But like Jason said, and he's probably got a point, you know, most batteries, not all, if I can find it, let me have a quick look. Here we go. Oh yeah, we've already spoke about that, sorry. Yeah, but like I said, they said 10 years. So between 2030 and 2040, based on this theoretical discussion, role play, live action role play, as Rex Bear says. So yeah, 10 years. So between 2030 and 2040, give or take a few years, you are still going to have power. Okay, so you can still use your power tools. So if you need to do construction work, you need to bolster your security, etc., it's going to take away a lot of extra calorie expenditure. Okay, so you're having food, you're having calories, you have to make those calories count. Okay, so all the time you've got food, you've got energy, you can use your power tools, saving you even more energy. Because if you didn't have power tools, you've got to use hand tools. Hand tools are great, obviously, because you're going to get fit and active, but you run the risk probably of having accidents or injuries. Okay, so it's all got variable differences on either side. But if you have got access to power tools and you've got power, you can literally put up defences really quick rather than a screwdriver, if you catch my drift. Okay, so all of these things definitely are worth considering, 100%. Okay, what else can we look into? Wind as well. Wind's another thing. I mean, like I said, we live on up a mountain and we always get wind up here. I would say out of a whole year, 365 days, we're probably going to be getting about 45 days out of that whole year when there's no wind. It's very windy up here most of the time. So again, why wouldn't I at least look into getting some sort of wind generator to charge up these batteries to give us light, cooking, heating, all the rest of it. Okay, it just makes sense, because like I said, we're talking a post collapse where there is no mains electric. Any way that you can generate electricity to give you an edge over the others, yes, it's going to last 10, 25 years or whatever, but you'll be so grateful that you've invested ahead of time to give yourself the opportunity to carry on using electricity however you deem fit, rather than having no options at all. Okay, can you imagine living for 5 years without electricity? Can you actually imagine it? So no phones, no computers, no radios, no immersion heaters, no electric cookers, no lighting, whatever. Okay, it does make you think about a few things. Like I said, power tools as well. Power tools are okay, but like I said, they're only as good as long as the battery lasts. And if you're using them a lot, that battery is going to live a lot shorter. And let me tell you this, if you don't know, one of the most important things that you really need to fully understand about batteries is do not store them anywhere cold. Okay, so if you think you're doing the right thing and you're storing all of your batteries, whether they're AAAs, AA's, power banks and stuff like that, if you think you're being clever by storing them in your cool room where hopefully all of your food is stored, don't, please don't. They need to be at minimum room temperature. That will make your batteries last so much longer. Okay, if you've got brand new pack of batteries, top of the range Energizer lithium or whatever, okay, they've just been made, you bought them, you're fortunate they got a 10-year lifespan on them, you go out there and put them in your cold room, guess what, that 10 years, no way, maybe 5 years. To keep them in a warm place, not hot, okay, just room temperature. So you're looking between, I don't know, 18 and 25 degrees C as a top of my head guess. That is the temperature range where you should be storing your batteries. Okay, if you do have to store them in a shed or whatever else, think about it, wrap them up in bubble wrap or something like that, insulate them, stop the cold getting to them for so much. Because I tell you what, mate, they will last a lot longer than they would if you didn't protect them or try to keep them constant, etc. Do you know what I might do? I might oh, it keeps logging me out. I'm reluctant to put the sound on because notifications will go off left, right and Chelsea and it'd be a nightmare. So yeah, we're moving through. We're talking way ahead now. Okay, so it's all gone tits up, everything's gone, there's no infrastructure facilities, they're all gone. Okay, we need to start going back to the old ways. Okay, so old methods by hand. So with that, I'm talking about try to distance yourself from electricity. If you're fortunate enough to have loads of like brand new batteries, good quality expensive ones and good quality expensive new solar panels and all of the stuff, you are very fortunate. Okay, some of us have bought loads of new stuff but like 5 years ago already. you know, they're half of their life if you understand that battery storage format. Okay, so we're looking at things like books, real proper books. Okay, forget all of your Mills and Boon stuff. All right, we're talking real books. So you're looking at woodworking, all of the important stuff which you're going to need to learn, because don't forget, you won't be able to go online like we can do now and find the answers. Get books, old books. Okay, lots of the older books show more hands-on approach without relying on power tools. You get a brand new book now about woodworking, guess what? I'd say all of the tools, or most of them involved in that book, will involve power tools. You want to get older books before power tools were a thing, right? So go 70s maybe, 70s and before that. That would be my advice. Get books on how to rebuild infrastructure. Okay, can you build a house from scratch with hand tools? Very difficult, but guess what? They used to do it back in the day. As I say, we've all been spoilt, shall I say, with power tools and all the rest of it. I've worked in the building industry. I know what it's like. You know, I've used Kangos and Hiltis and all the rest of it. And yes, absolutely, it saves a lot of time. And time is the most precious commodity, like I said earlier. Right, I'm going to have a quick water break because I'm thirsty. And guess who hit me up? The state detective. He is doing bottled water now. Can you believe it? How cool is that? Not really, just for fun. He sent me some coffee earlier, which I'm going to do a video at some point. And in there was stickers. And my son, you know what kids are like, they love putting stickers on things. And I've just found, oh my god, look at that. What is the time? Bloody hell, is it nearly an hour? I can't believe it. We've got loads of stuff to get through, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you can. That really helps. Hand tools, obviously, yes. I've got quite a good selection of hand tools. Not great. So you do need to cover the basics. So a good hammer, a regular hammer, claw hammer, okay, lump hammer, club hammer, and a great big sledgehammer too. Absolutely. But when you're choosing these tools, physically do them. Don't, for God's sake, get them online. You need to pick up a sledgehammer, because if you order something online and it's too light or too heavy, it's no good. It has to be right for the person, and it's not a one size fits all. If you're selecting sledgehammers, you really need to go and pick one up, and you're going to know straight away by the time you wield it and move it around. If it's way too heavy, get the next one down, try that one. Eventually you'll end up with the Goldilocks sledgehammer. Awesome, just right one. That's what you need. So think about these things as well. Also oils as well. Make sure that you've got a good stock of oil. Now the two that I've gone for is WD-40 and 3-in-1. Them two are my go-to when it comes to tool and indeed knife maintenance. Now yeah, I know you're going to get the purist that they say no, you should put like mineral oil on your knives because you can use them for hunting and things like that. Yeah, that's good, but I would rather choose an oil for the material. Okay, if you want to use vegetable oil on your knives, it's going to go rancid, it's going to attract dust and fluff and everything else. My opinion, you don't have to do what I say, but my advice would be get the right oils for the right materials. Okay, if you want to use veg oil, put it in your cooking if you want to. Lots of people don't use seed oils no more, and I completely get it. That's absolutely awesome. But yeah, that's what I'll go for. WD-40 and 3-in-1. And indeed sharpening skills as well. If you've never sharpened a knife before, start off basics. Okay, go down to a supermarket, get a knife sharpener or a hardware store, watch videos, look at the instructions and just try it. Faye, I love you. What a sweetheart you are. Do you know what? She does this every time. She just fills up the whole little comment window with lots of pints of beer. And honestly, I can see it out the corner of my eye, and it's the only way I can get attention. It's pretty much like the super chat and super stickers. Anything that comes up, all of a sudden it's a great big block of colour and I can't miss it. So I do apologise if I'm missing all this chat, because there's no way I can read and talk and answer questions all at the same time. No one can do that. So there we go. Naughty Faye. No, fair play. I'm 30 seconds early, but who cares? What a week it's been. So, all the way from Herefordshire in England, or England, yes, we're going to be having Can you hear that? Nice, cool and crisp. Yes indeed. I don't stock a lot of cider and beer. I'll probably have about anything between 2 and 10 bottles at a time. But that's fair dues. But when it comes to barterable items and commodities and things, Scotch is my go-to. Always have multiple bottles of that. Can you imagine go through a crazy collapse without any alcohol? Not good. Anyway, cheers people. I hope you're all well. That fizz sounded good. Chris. Yeah. Like snap, crackle and pop for adults. So yeah, before I get stuck into that and get absolutely sloshed, because I haven't had a drink for a while, what else have we got to look at? Lots. And I don't even know if I can cover it all in this scheme. But yeah, sharpening skills. Learn to sharpen a knife. If we're talking proper collapse and there's nothing available, guess what? Any material which is harder than your knife will sharpen it. Because all you're doing is you're removing small bits of metal from your knife to create a nice sharp edge. That's all you need to do. I remember doing a camp in a haunted burial chamber alongside with Sandy, if you're still here, and my mate Paul. 3 of us, we slept in this place. And I'll never forget it, because when we was in there, we looked at all of the stone formations inside this tomb. And one particular part of this stone really stood out. And I remember looking into this after going there. Now what they used to do is, back in the day, we're talking megalithic times I believe, they used to sharpen their axes and things on this stone. And you can tell that it's been smoothed off and shined up a bit. So the bottom line is, you can use anything. As long as it's stronger than your steel, it will sharpen it. That is if you really have to. You can use flint. Yeah, of course you can use flint, but if you are going to be doing that, if you've never done it before, start flint knapping now. Now is the time to start that. Whilst we're on the subject of flint knapping as well, where is it? The Bushcraft show. Now if you don't already know about this, there is the date. It's not far away now, and there is Will Lord, I think his name is. Beautiful guy, really good guy, and he's going to be doing flint knapping courses and all of that there. Now if you don't already know, where is it? I'm going to be going to this. Look at the lightness. I'm going to be absolutely going to this event. Okay. Now they've contacted me, the global ambassador, believe it or not, for this place. They contacted me wanting me to front and head a brand new prepping section for this show. Okay, so be under no illusion, we're talking between 2 and 10,000 people plus are going to be going to this, including, as you can see, Ray Mears on the top there, and there's a bit more info on it there. Okay, so yeah, Ray Mears, John Lofty Wiseman, the guy who literally wrote the book, the SAS Survival Handbook, which I would like to hope that 90% of all preppers have in their book collection. If you haven't got the SAS Survival Handbook, get a copy. Okay, you can get them really cheap. You can get pocket-sized ones for a couple of quid. They're essential, because if you're new to this, you've got no skills. At a pinch, if you've got that in your bag or in your house, that is seriously going to help. So John Lofty Wiseman's going to be there. Bjørn Andreas Bull Hansen from Norway is flying over. He's going to the show as well. Okay, I've got my dear friend I'm a Cockroach. I've got Pete Mindwise Moon. I'm hoping to get a guy who's up on self-defense. Okay, so we'd be going through some of that. Hoping to get the guy. It's really difficult to get these guys on board because everyone's so frigging busy. Really good with CBRN, so we're talking chemical attacks, nuclear. So I've built a team up with me to go to that event. And if you are interested in going, if you haven't booked yet, if you go underneath this video, there's a link there with a discount code, and you're going to save 15%. All you need to do is put that discount code, which is below this video right now, and it will save you a big lump of money too. All right. So yeah, I'm glad you said flint knapping, because that reminded me of the Bushcraft show. That is literally the 27th. So we're only talking a few weeks away now. So I'm going to be doing probably a video based on that between now and then. And someone asked me the other day, I think it was on Instagram, someone sent me a message and it said, I saw your video about your going to the bushcraft show. I've not been before. What do I need to bring with me? And I thought, do you know what, that made me think, because there's people who really want to go to that show but who've never been to that show or something like it, and they've got no idea. So what I might do, if you guys think it's a good idea, let me know in the chat, or indeed the comment section below. Let me know if you think it's a good idea to do a little video, not crazy, about everything which I'm going to be taking to the bushcraft show for me and my family. The sort of stuff that I take to these events, because like I say, not everyone knows it all. Some people might go for the first time, and when they get there they're going to realise, oh my god, I didn't think of that, I didn't buy that, I didn't bring this. And their experience, instead of it being amazing like most of us have there, might not be so good because they're uncomfortable, they're cold, whatever it is. So if you check it out, Lightning Pro D, make a video. There you go. So yeah, as I say, if you think it's a good idea, let me know, and I might do a video on that, because you know, prepping is where it's at right now. Okay, forget about all of the what's going to happen, what might happen, what not happen. I'm right, no, you're wrong. Where do you get the source information? Just remove your energy from that. Put it into this stuff, because we need to start prepping now, because there is a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. And I do appreciate that you new guys who have just subscribed to me, they're new to all this. Like I said, everyone has to start somewhere. I did. Every one of you did. But there's guys and girls contacting me quite regularly now, more over the last 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. I'm new to this, where the hell do I start? So I might even do a series of introduction or basic videos of where to start prepping. So if you think that's a good idea, put it in the comments or the chat. If it helps, you know, all I want to do is help people at the end of the day. So we've done sharpening. That's important. You need to learn how to sharpen. Blacksmiths. Now, imagine it. You're not going to be able to go into a shop and buy stuff unless you've already got all of the tools that you need, or whatever, or something breaks and you want to replace it. Having a blacksmith in your community would be absolutely awesome. Now, one of my best mates on YouTube, right, Scott Wessex Blades, that guy, right, is an unsung hero of the prepping community in the UK. If you don't know who I'm talking about, if you go to my YouTube channel main page and you look at channels, he will always be at the very top of my channel list. And I said that to him in person 12 years ago, whatever it was, and I'll still hold that to high regard now. Scott is a lovely guy. And if any of you guys have met him or know him, you know, mention him in the chat and the comments. He is a legend. Now that guy, we both appeared on the same TV program with National Geographic, okay, when we was all bloody celebrities, whatever. But yeah, we was on that, and he is the guy. If there is an apocalypse or an Armageddon or whatever you want to call it, guys like that you really, really need, because that guy can make a knife out of anything, make an axe out of anything, make a sword out of anything. He really does know his stuff. He's learnt to do this stuff without all of the gadgetry too. Okay, so people like that are friggin' invaluable, right? Because imagine a life without metal, no knives, no self-defense tools, nothing to strengthen certain things. So having a blacksmith, seriously good. So if you are in a fortunate position where you've got time and money on your hands and you're new to prepping and you want to get a skill, do a course on blacksmithing. Even if you just do a basic course for 2 or 3 days or whatever it is, that might be enough. Should all this stuff come down the pipe, at least you're going to have an idea of what to do. And it's going to be the same old thing. The more that you do, the better you're going to be, and the quicker you're going to be, the more professional you're going to be. More and more people will come to you, and your family will do very well out of it, because like I said, people are going to come to you wanting you to sharpen their knives, make them a knife or whatever it is, and they will give you stuff. They will trade and barter. That's the most important thing. So having them skills, bloody hell, blacksmith, that is one of the underlining things which not many people know how to do. But yeah, if you learn how to make knives, you'll be doing very well indeed. and your family will too in that time of tribulation. Okay. Spinning as well. Now our partner does this, so look at spinning. If you don't know what I mean, a spinning wheel. Okay, so you go to walk in the countryside, there's animals and sheep around, you go to the barbed wire fences and you see the little white fluffy bits. Pick all of that off, get a big ball, roll it all up and put it in a spinning wheel, and it will spin and it will make a long thread. Now you can practice, you can make the thread as strong, as weak, as thin or as thick as you want. Once you've done that, then you've got a base material to make clothes. So don't take the mick. Spinning and knitting and sewing are more important than you probably think. Now don't forget, prepping, right, is a level playing field. Okay, if you're a guy and you want to wear a pink t-shirt, that's fine. If you're a guy and you want to knit, that's fine. Okay, anyone that takes the mick out of you, you know, they're not welcome in our community. We're talking, these are skills which lots of us will need to do. It's not a sissy thing, it's not a whatever thing. It's important, because just imagine, all right, you're on your own, okay, and you're walking miles and miles and miles. You've only managed to put one pair of socks in your backpack and you're wearing them, and you start having holes. If you've never sewn anything before, if you don't know how to, you can drop spindle and you hand spin and you can make thread and you can repair your stuff as you're moving along. Don't forget, there won't be shops. So all of these skills are really important. You girls out there who spin, let me know in the comments and the chat, because you girls or guys are heroes. Okay, because your skills will be seriously needed. They will, because everyone wears clothes. Everyone's clothes are going to fail at some point. So if you can knit stuff, if you can do scarves, woolly hats, gloves, socks, all of that stuff, man, that will be so welcome. And don't forget, wool is so important. Did you know this? Now, wool is one of the only materials that you can get which will retain heat even when it's wet. Okay, so you can get all these brand new expensive fleece jackets, fleece caps and all this sort of stuff. When they're soaking wet, guess what? Your head's going to get cold. Big problem. If you've got a woolly hat and it's wet, you take it off, wring it out, put it on, guess what? You still retain heat. Wool is so important. Okay, so learn how to spin, learn how to knit, learn how to sew. Man, I can't begin to tell you how many videos that I've been thinking about, writing down, making notes. Honestly, the list is endless, so stay tuned for loads of videos coming your way, all about important things like sewing kits. In the military, we used to call them housewife kits, but no one's seen mine. And yeah, a good friend of mine who was in the Marines, when I showed him, he said, bloody hell, that is very extensive. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's the right to be extensive, because when all this stuff goes down, do you really want a sewing kit which has got 2 or 3 little tiny bits of wrapped up cotton and 2 needles? Nah, if you lose it or you use it up, it's gone. Do extensive stuff, but it doesn't have to be a big pack. All right, housewife kits, if you're on the move, mega important. I need to check. Like I say, I hate it when people are good enough and then I miss stuff. I wish it wasn't the case, but yeah, this is needed like you wouldn't bloody believe. Oh god, no, I'm not playing that game. I can't check. They want me to sign in and log in and create a code. Nah, forget it. So we're moving on because time is important. What else is there? Footwear as well. How many of you guys have made shoes? And girls? Out of what we got, 1,319 people right now, how many of you have ever made a pair of shoes or boots? Probably none. There was a place called Cliff over on the west of Wales, and there is a beautiful little shop and it's all handmade shoes, and you can go in there, you can see everything, how it's done. It's incredible. Having skills like that, how you can resole boots that are worn through. Just imagine you got one pair of boots, off the top of my head, German paratrooper boots, and the soles are completely shot. They're coming away, they're flat, you're slipping around. To find someone in a community who can whip those off, find the material and make it good again, trust me, because people are going to be doing a lot of walking. Souls don't last forever. Think about it, all of these things that we need to try and get into our mindset, learning this stuff, at least watching how it's made. I mean, when you think about it, like I said earlier, you can spend 6 hours on the evening going around on your phone. Oh look, you know, so and so said this is going to happen. Oh, this is breaking news. The bank's doing. All the time you're doing that, you could be watching videos of how to make a pair of shoes. Important skills, right? What else have we got there? Animal skins. Now that is another thing. I do believe, again, on the bushcraft show, we've got professionals there, and I mean professionals who really know what they're doing. And I think there probably is demonstrations about deer tanning and hide tanning and stuff, using eggs and all that sort of thing to literally get a skin off of an animal, process it to it's suitable for the task that you're going to need and use it for. And having that skill alone is going to be incredible. I mean, animal skins, we're not talking animal rights and veganism and all of that. We're talking about a post-societal collapse. Trust me, no one's going to give a toss about what they eat and what they wear. All of that will slowly or quickly, depending on your situation, will go out the window. You're going to need to stay warm and you're going to need to eat. It's going to be a choice if you want to make it. I'm strong vegan. I need to eat. I haven't eaten for 3 days. I'm getting weak. There's an animal there. It's going to be you or him. So you need to make that decision. No one's going to do it for you. But let me tell you this. All them sort of things are going to be relevant moving forward. Okay? It's going to be difficult because the mindset with all of this, it's so much to take in. It's such a big shock to the human psyche and so much change. All right, so yeah, they're very important things to sort of learn and understand. Primitive firelighting. Now, like the courses that I do, that is taught and passed on. Okay, we're talking flint and steel. If you wanted to, you can do bow drill. Now, I do believe from what I've heard recently is when British military soldiers go into training and jungle training, guess what? They have stopped teaching bow drill. They've stopped it. Okay, so you can think whatever you want about what I just said, but that is a fact. So is it worth learning a bow drill? Is it useful in a survival situation? To be honest, I still believe absolutely it's got weight. It's definitely got a place in your preps. So you learn how to make a bow drill, you practice with it, you get really good at it, you put it away somewhere safe. Every now and again you have a little practice, maybe once every 2 months, half an hour. That's probably all you're going to need once you've mastered it. So if there is a situation where you can't get a fire going, you've run out of your lighters, they don't work, you've lost your ferro rods or whatever it is, having something like that which you can make and still make fires, I think absolutely, yeah, learn that skill, make some, put them away, and you can do it for free. Just go out there with your saw, take some bits of trees down, learn how to make it. So we're talking primitive stuff because this is post-collapse we're talking about. Like I say, how many of you have gone to a bow drill shop? Make your own, learn the skill, get it done. Okay, shelters, learn how to make shelters. If you have to leave your home for security or safety reasons and you're on the move, learn how to make shelters. If you haven't got a shelter with you, like I say, the courses I do, we go through all of that. Okay, what I do is I get the groups split into two. I get them to use all of the debris which is piled up, branches and twigs all over the place. I'll get them to construct shelters without any tools or any cordage. They use their hands. I'll make sure they wear gloves because we don't want people getting lacerations when it comes to the cordage when we're using brambles, etc. So they're wearing gloves, no tools whatsoever. Okay, and they make their shelters. And I'll tell you what, if you've never done it before, you learn a lot just by doing one shelter. So practice doing some shelters when you're in the woods. The weather's getting nicer now, so everyone's going to be going out. If you've got kids, it's a great opportunity to build dens of them. Hands up who used to love building dens with their mums and dads or whatever back in the day. I was speaking to my dad today and I still remember it. You know, we used to go out with the air rifle shooting tin cans. We used to build shelters. I was a city boy, but we still went out of the city to do this stuff. And it stays in you, okay? So, yeah, you're absolutely looking at shelters. Next thing on the list, we're going on to hunting. Hunting, growing your own food and rearing your own livestock, okay? Start off with watching videos. If there's something that you really want to follow up, get books. Once you read through the books, go out and try. If you're not confident or competent, find someone who is, go with them, and they will teach you. Trust me, it's a lot easier to get skills passed on to you from a person or a very well made video, okay? But you have to do it yourself, okay? It's no good getting all these books, never reading them. Why is it all gone blurry? I don't know. There you go. Cool. So yeah, it's no good getting all these books and never trying it. Okay, you need to sort of practice this stuff, because like I said, you're going to find time to do this because you're not on your phone worrying about all of the stuff which is going on, which we've been talking about for months and months and months. Yada yada yada. Yeah, we know what's going on. Now start doing something. So use your bloody time wisely. I will be, and I'll be doing videos to try and encourage as many people as possible to think this way, because at some point we are going to need it. At very best, we can pass it on to our kids, and that's important. The stuff kids are getting taught, they need to learn this stuff. All right, all of the hours they're playing Minecraft and stuff, get them out in the woods, build a den, have a laugh, make it fun. When they grow up, they're going to remember that being fun, and they're going to enjoy doing it. So it's not going to be so much of a shock or a chore to do. Hunting, absolutely learn that. Apparently, from what I understand, it's illegal to set snares in the UK, but nonetheless you can still practice, not actually doing it, but practice making them. A very good tip which not many people know: if you are setting a snare, try and use copper wire or tins copper wire. Okay, so when you've rounded it all off, so made that loop, and you put the little the loop to go through and to pull it before, well, as you set it, do you know what you need to do? The most important thing, sterilize it. But guess what loads of people don't do? Use a lighter. Use a lighter and you burn all the way around that metal, okay? That will destroy any scent. Forget peeing on it, forget putting alcohol on it, forget putting mud on it. Get a lighter, burn off everything. It will sterilize the scent. The animal won't even know a human has been near it. That's an important tip which is very rarely passed on. So you guys who have managed to stay this far, you just learned something there, because you won't find much information about that. Okay, have a look. What else we got? Wild edibles, of course. We all need to eat. Very, very important. We all need to eat. So watch videos, get books, and go out and practice. Okay, I think some people, they said you can get apps on your phone and you can photograph it and it'll tell you what it is. Yeah, that's good, but don't forget, don't rely on it, because when you need to go to the app or whatever, it won't be there. Your phone's damaged or your battery's gone, you can't charge it, or whatever it is. Get books, but the books you're going to need to have really good high quality photographs. Okay, some of these books are quite pretty with paintings, they're okay, but tell me, I've done this with my own eyes. There's so many wild edibles out there look very similar, good things and bad things. NWO sloth bite, you know what I'm talking about. There's things out there, lords and ladies, etc., that look identical between poisonous or bad for you and something that's really beneficial. You can easily get it wrong, so you need to really make sure that you ID it properly, and that goes with mushrooms. Okay, now when I mentioned John Lofty Wiseman earlier about his SAS Survival Handbook, he absolutely categorically states, don't bother with mushrooms. Okay, even some people who have been foraging mushrooms for 30-40 years, okay, don't forget, you can easily make a mistake. You've had a bad night's sleep, you're getting on a bit, your eyesight's not as good, it's low light in the evening or whatever it is, and you pick that one mushroom which is a bad one. That's all it's going to take. So the legend, in my opinion, I've met him, he's a lovely guy, John Lofty Wiseman, who wrote the SCS Survival Handbook, categorically states, forget fungi. Don't go there. If you want to, I can't stop you, it's entirely up to you, but it's so easy to get it wrong, okay? And it's very difficult, because just like the wild edibles, some of them are very, very similar. Even the parasol mushroom, which I absolutely positively ID'd, you could get that wrong too. If you make that mistake, you get sick and you're out there, guess what? The same thing. No one is coming to help, and unless you've got a good stock of the correct meds for that type of issue, you're screwed. You're going to die at some point. So it is serious. Okay, definitely don't pick the wrong stuff. That is fundamentally needs to be understood. Okay, What else have we got? Self-defense. Yes, how many of you guys have done self-defense? How many of you do it at the moment? Do any of you guys teach it? Self-defense is absolutely fundamental. Okay, if you've got all of the best preps, you've got the best bug out location, at some point you're going to face confrontation. And if you've got no experience, you don't know what to do, you don't know anything about pressure points, etc., you don't train on a regular basis where you're fast, guess what? The guy or girl coming, they might be really good. And what's going to happen? Yeah, you need to at least know what you're doing. Okay, if you can't punch fast, if you can't kick, there's grappling techniques. If you're not fast or strong, I would recommend doing something like jiu-jitsu, okay, because that's more hands-on grappling, gouging, rather than fancy Wing Chun and all that stuff, okay, or Taekwondo, because there's a martial art for everyone. Personally, I've done judo and I've done Kempo jiu-jitsu many moons ago. Okay, there's something for everyone. Krav Maga is very good. The IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, use that still to this day, and a lot of people in the military do. And obviously, there's adaptations of these arts as well. MMA, well, make it up as you go along. But it's a very, very important thing to look into. So, like I'm saying, all the time you're not on your phone looking through the next whatever's going to happen. You're doing that in the evening. You could be spending 1 hour a week or whatever it is at a gym or a martial arts dojo learning something. Okay, it's going to be invaluable. I mean, I remember at 10 years old, I can't remember the throw because it's Japanese, it's such a long time ago. I remember putting my foot just above the groin and stomach area of my dad, held him on his jumper around the solar plexus area, done sort of a roll back and threw him across the front room into the sofa. And he was obviously in his 20s or 30s back then, 30s obviously, and yeah, a little skinny 10-year-old could do that. So you can do it. It's just technique, it's just practice, and it could actually save your life one day. Okay, a lot of these things are serious. Okay, security as well. So security, most of it relies on energy, electricity. Learn how to secure your area, whether it's a house, a tent, whatever it is. Learn how to secure it to raise an alarm, to give you a heads up of a potential threat. The easiest things you can do is like fishing line or any sort of cords that you can do very thin, even paracord. You get the strings out from inside. Old tin cans. You're going to find tin cans now till doomsday all over the UK. Perimeter alarms. Okay, you can disguise them, cover them up with leaf litter. Someone trips that line, those Coke cans rattle. Guess what? Providing it's at the correct distance from where you are sleeping, etc., at least you've got that valuable 5 or 10 seconds to do something, rather than letting someone creep up to you in the middle of the night and do the nasty thing. Right? So all of these things really do need to be considered. Like I say, it's such a big realm of things to look into, but you're never going to get anywhere all the time you're looking at the news on your phone. You can use your time looking into all of this stuff. Bloody hell, look at that, it's nearly our past. Wow. Trade and barter items. Absolutely, like I said earlier, you could have 100 silver coins, right? It all goes tits up, like 6 months, a year later. How many people are you going to go up to and say, oh mate, I could really do with that battery charger, I'll give you like 10 silver coins, and then they go, what am I going to do with that? I can't sell it, I can't eat it, no one's going to buy it off me. So in my opinion, if you are hoarding, sorry, bad word, if you are stacking silver, I would say you're probably better off spending it before the collapse on useful barterable items if you haven't got all of the basics. And the basics is food, shelter, and someone to sleep. Okay, that is the 3 bare basics. You cover all of that in multitudes of different scenarios, different environments, different price brackets, etc. Yeah, barterable items for sure. Okay, because like I said, all the shops are shut. What's out there is what's out there. And I would say within 24 hours of the electric grid going down, every supermarket in the UK will be empty in 24 hours. So don't think, bloody hell, we've had no electricity for a whole day now. I'll go to Tesco's. You go there, guess what? You're going to witness some seriously bad stuff. And it goes on the next day, the next day, the next day. Every day, it just progressively gets worse. So, yeah, having your own stuff without having to go to a shop, absolutely. Like I say, you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver. They're probably going to be useful. I mean, I think Jason said cash is going to be okay still around 3 days after a collapse, and after that it's going to be worthless. Silver and gold will probably be worthless after a week or two of a big main collapse. Like I say, who's going to want silver for something useful? People will start thinking that way very quickly. People aren't stupid, even the sheep. Okay, people will figure it out and work it out, and they're going to come to the conclusion, mate, what would I rather have, 20 kilos of rice or a silver coin? That's how I think. You can believe what you want, it's fine. Everyone's got their own right to say what they want, so that's absolutely cool on that. What else have we got? Home brewing and alcohol. Yes. How many of you have done home brewing or made your own alcohol? Some have, some haven't. Personally, I've never done it. My dad did back in the day. He used to make bottles of wine. I remember, some of you guys remember the old corks popping off the top under the stairs, making that noises. The smell of that horrible yeasty smell. But nonetheless, if you can master the art of producing alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, lager, cider, moving on to distillation, so we're talking spirits like your whiskies, your rums, your vodkas, and all of that sort of stuff, I can't begin to tell you how valuable those items will be in a post-collapse society. Oh my god, imagine it. Everyone's going to be depressed. Everyone's going to want to go back to how it was. Everyone's going to realise how much of a struggle simple things are without the use of all of the things we've become accustomed to and obviously taken for granted. So when it's not there, depression's going to be massive. So having something to ease that burden now and again, alcohol, unbelievable. So yeah, if you can master that and you can continue to make it, or you know, stuff that's going to be valuable to you is going to be stuff like yeast and fruits and stuff like that, or even potatoes. So yeah, you can swap a bottle of vodka for 2 sacks of potatoes, because that 2 sacks of potatoes is going to enable you to make more vodka, for example. Okay. Purifying water. I mean, that really should be at the top of the list, but when you think about it, without water we're all dead, and if you drink bad water in a situation like that, you're going to be dead. So you're going to need to learn how to store it, how to find it, and how to clean it and make it safe. If you don't know, check videos, get books, okay? Because there's nothing worse than just, you know, you turn the taps on. Guess what? There's no electricity. There's no water coming out of taps, because water needs electricity to pump it. And it's only going to have a limited amount of time before those backup generators fail, run out, whatever. And yes, you're going to have like military going to key infrastructure points to guard them, to make sure they've got fuel to keep running. But at some point, it's going to be very difficult to maintain that security around those key infrastructure points within the UK. And yeah, having no electricity, no water, you're going to need to have water. Just imagine it kicking off in the summertime, in a drought, in a heat wave. Whoa, big mess. How many of you have got loads of water stored up? Some people do, some people don't. Water butts are good in an allotment or in your garden. They're great for collecting rainwater. You can keep it there for years. Doesn't matter how dirty it is, because you can always purify it. Just collect water and keep it somewhere. It doesn't matter what it looks like, because you can always purify and clean it, and it'll be good. All right. Yeah, honestly, I could go on for another 2 hours. Okay, so we might continue this probably next Friday, and bring in something else if anything major happens in the week. So before I sign off, everyone who's donated, honestly, you guys are bloody fantastic. I will do this. Oh god, what's this? Okay. Whoa, yep. Oh, What's going on here? Recent activity, no internet connection. We're still recording, aren't we? Yeah, of course we are. Oh man, I can't see who it is. It just says something about Rudyard Kipling. Let me try that again. There we go. Cool. So this is from Jeffrey. Thank you very much for that donation. And Andrew, I'm not going to say your full name. I've never seen that before. Wow. It won't let me read the message. It just says these times remind me of for, and then it goes ... and I can't read it. It just says Rudyard Kipling. This is from Alan. See you at the meet. Hope this helps. Oh my God, yeah, the prepper meet. That's another thing. That's the last weekend of July. That is going to be seriously awesome. If you don't know anything about the prepper meet, don't forget all of the links you're going to need to know are right under this video. Okay, so that's all donations. It's PayPal. The best thing, if you do want to, like I say, you really don't have to, but if you can, PayPal. If you choose friends and family, all of the money goes to the channel. Not a big lump goes to PayPal, and you know it's crazy. So yes, everyone has donated. Bloody seriously, even you guys, after this video goes live during the week on the replay, honestly, I mean Margaret, the classic example, she has helped like you would not bloody believe. Okay, seriously helped. And every single person, every one of you who has stayed to the end or drifted off, doesn't matter, who have taken part in this chat is very important. And what I try to do, or what I will try to do on a more regular basis, starting from last week, but I'm going to try every Saturday morning, I'm going to rewatch all of this in the morning and go through the live chat, okay? Because there is some awesome people in this live chat, and this community is brilliant. And we have got preppers joining this community every day. Every day. No joke. I'm not making it up, it's true. So many people are waking up to what's going on, and they're going, something's going to have to be done here. Where the hell do I start? So they go onto YouTube and they type in prepping or whatever. Hopefully they find me and watch one of my videos, and they feel happy enough to subscribe, like the video, and they're going to be the ones who, hopefully, if their bell notification is ticked on, God, it's so important. Okay, so many people just don't get notified, so please check your notification bell is set to all notifications. They won't miss these live chats, and it's really cool to be in amongst the live chat, because this community is amazing. It really is. And I'm looking at the names here, and I see them all the time. So we have got a good, solid, sound, regular UK and indeed global prepping community in this area, which is beautiful. Like I said, there's not much you can do about what's going on or what's possible to happen, but we do need to start looking after ourselves and our families in our own way without upsetting anyone else. Okay, that's key. Do what you got to do, look after your loved ones, focus, fill any gaps which you feel we need to. But yeah, you know, I could have gone on. There's loads of other things. We're talking about bees and honey, educational books, toys for kids, pots and pans, learn horse riding, making carts, windmills, learn first aid, situational awareness, communications. Honestly, we could do that in the next video because we run out of time. So yeah, everyone who's commenting in the chat, everyone who's donated, you're awesome. And last but not least, the moderators. Oh my God, you moderators are flipping awesome. I can't thank you enough. And hopefully we're going to meet the moderators in real at the prepper meet, or if not the bushcraft show. There's a few people going to the bushcraft show who are moderators here, and I will be seeing you at that wicked event on the 27th to the 29th of May. Don't forget, there's a discount link. If you click it to the bushcraft show, you're going to save money, which, let's face it, is hard now. So yeah, that's me done. So stay tuned for more videos coming out next week in prepping again. Okay, that's where we're going. Oh my God, you just scraped in. Hammy, thank you for that. Euros, so you're over in Europe. I guess that's in Europe. Ireland, by the name McGuinness there. Top of the morning to you. 1212 in the chat right now. And footprints, haha, I will catch up with you on Instagram. I've just been so busy, but yeah, appreciate that, sweetheart. You're a little star. And of course, everyone on PayPal during the week seriously helps. You guys are awesome. But yeah, if you can, now is the time, and I'm not making up. Something's changed. We're going to leave it there. You guys take care. Thanks for watching, and stay funky.